Eins, zwei, eins, zwei, eins, zwei.
Calvin Ellis is my idea, not because I created him, but because I am the only one who sees him for what he actually is, the Superman of the multiverse. And yet for all the talk of the multiverse, for all of the Elseworlds projects, for all of the reboots and reinventions, Calvin Ellis has never been prioritized. This letter is not just for James Gunn. This is a statement of intent to every journalist, cultural critic, political leader, and industry gatekeeper who claims to care about the future. I'm writing this to Mark Lamont Hill, Michael Eric Dyson, Jameli Hill, Joy Reid, Roland Martin, President Obama, Representative Jasmine Crockett, and anyone else who is tired of small conversations about big things. This is about a 7-season arc that I've built alone because no one else cared enough to do it. And if you think I'm wrong, then tell me, where is the Calvin Ellis animated series? Where is the Calvin Ellis standalone comic series? Where is the Calvin Ellis live action adaptation? Where is the Calvin Ellis novelization? Where is the Calvin Ellis video game storyline? Where is the Calvin Ellis major motion picture cameo in any DCU project? Where is the Calvin Ellis-led crossover event that spans multiple DC properties? Calvin Ellis is not a footnote in Superman's legacy. He is the most logical evolution of Superman's mythos. And yet DC has done nothing with him. I mean, yeah, there have been some one-offs and a couple of special editions, but not very much. But, they said the same thing about Barack Obama. They said America wasn't ready. They said his name was too much of a hurdle. They said everything except what they really meant, that they couldn't imagine it because they never wanted to. And Calvin Ellis, he gets the Muhammad Ali treatment. People watch just to see when he'll fail. They'll place bets on when he'll get knocked down. They don't want to see him succeed. They want to see if he can survive their expectations. I didn't just come up with Calvin Ellis overnight. I've been obsessed with this story for 2 years, but I didn't start writing it until 6 months ago after my parents died. My mother died the day after my 39th birthday. My father died 40 days later. Now at 40, I'm writing this show about reconciliation. This is not a coincidence. This is the culmination of a lifetime of watching stories that never reflected the world I actually lived in. I grew up watching Smallville in college, holding on to Superman as an icon while navigating the realities of being Black, queer, and deeply misunderstood in my own community. I have worked jobs that were beneath my intelligence, beneath my creativity, beneath my spirit. I've been called boy while delivering trucks to MAGA-infested Oklahomans who didn't know or didn't care that I was writing the future of Superman in my head. I have been fired for things I couldn't control. I have been told to be realistic, and yet I am still here. And yet I've still written this show. And yet I'm still demanding Calvin Ellis be taken seriously. This entire project revolves around 3 key structures that I refuse to change. 3 staunch creative choices that will not be compromised. Leisha Lane must be a thick Black woman, preferably Raven Goodwin. Biogarmentation is crucial to this story. Superman's suit is not just fabric, it is living, it is mythological, it is part of him. The pilot is a 3-episode event structured after the legislative, judicial, and executive branches of government. Episode 1, Men in the Mirror, Legislative, Michael Jackson. Episode 2, Controversy, Judicial, Prince. Episode 3, One Moment in Time, Executive, Whitney Houston. 3 goals that define this project's cultural impact. 1, affect the vote. If a Calvin Ellis show enters production by 2029, it will shift the political consciousness of an entire generation. 2. Form a global Black alliance through DC storytelling. This show will connect Blackness across the diaspora in a way that has never been done before. 3. Honor the Black TV and music revolution. Calvin Ellis will celebrate and elevate the legacy of Black television and Black music, from Quincy Jones to Erica Alexander to The Best Man cast. The redefinition of prestige television. This show isn't just built like True Blood. This is James Gunn's Breaking Bad, his Smallville, his House of Cards, his Game of Thrones. But more than that, Calvin Ellis is a statement about what prestige television should actually be moving forward. It is not enough to continue churning out Black characters who uphold the corporatocracy's ideals more than they innovate new ways of expressing culture. It is not enough to make diverse content without actually shifting power. Prestige television is going to have to change. The question is, who is ready to reflect that need for change before it happens without them? James, what are we doing? You can walk away, pretend you never read this, go about your business, but what happens when someone beats you to it? What happens when someone else sees what's obvious? This is the future of Superman. And James, I will die making this show happen, but I won't have to, because I already know how this ends. Make the call. Terrard Robinson, aka Lumberjack T.